What is going on, my dudes? Tystra here, back again with another Genshin Impact video. And as always, if you like the content, please hit that follow and subscribe button down below. And don't forget to also hit that notification bell to be notified of when I post a new video. Today, we are on a roll with these reviews, and we are going to talk about basically the dating simulator with the Raiden Shogun, aka A. So, let's go ahead and get into it. But before we do that, there is a couple more things I got to touch up on. First things first, the pictures that are showed here are taken from Google Images, so please bear with me if the quality is good, bad, ugly, depending on the situation. You will hear me stutter a little bit because I am going off of a little scripty script that I made, so please bear with me. I'm trying my best, and I tend to like a weirdo. So, with that in mind, let's go ahead and get into it. So, quest starts out with Toma talking to two people from the Tenryou Commission in front of the statue where the Raiden Shogun had all the taken visions at. Keep in mind, this is after the Archon quest for 2.1 has been finished. So you got to finish that and then get to this quest. We are introduced to Kujo. Excuse me, sorry about that. But Kamaji Kujo, sorry. Kamaji, we actually talked with when it came to the Chisato's letter quest. So he's kind of making a return in that as the proxy leader of the Kujo clan, along with his assistant Ipe. Kamaji might be someone you recognize, but if you don't, just finish up the story. Just to make sure that everybody also understands, there is spoilers in this as well. Sorry I made it a little bit late on that, but there are spoilers, so be wary of that. So, basically, they're talking about how the Raiden Shogun is refusing visitors, stating that she needs time in isolation to gather her thoughts. But because of this, the storm that is out at sea is slowly getting wilder. It's coming closer to Inazuma, causing a lot of issues. Toma and the others are concerned because they feel that the Raiden Shogun in isolation, aka not feeling well, this is basically giving the storm a reason to take advantage and getting closer with no one able to fight it back. Um, it's a very weird story in that case. The Kujo clan has also lost control of the other clans due to the Kujo clan's deception with the Vision Hunt decree. Now, again, if you don't know what happened, please make sure that you finish the main story before you continue on with this. Because of this, the other clans are trying to acquire the spot of commissioner. Kamaji blames himself for a lot of the issues going on with the Kujo clan. Ipe quickly dispels this, and Kamaji thanks him, basically. Kamaji has a lot of, from what we could tell, self-esteem issues, which is understandable because he has to deal with the fact that the Kujo clan tried to do a whole bunch of stuff. So, Kamaji then asks to reconvene with Toma in a few days, stating that he needs to meet up with the head of the Takatsukasa clan, which is Susumu, which we will actually get into a little bit later in this video. So, Kamaji leaves, and the traveler comes up with the idea of inviting the Shogun out to see Inazuma. This is where we get the whole date thing going on. The traveler and Paimon finish the conversation with Toma and Ipe. We then go to visit Yae at the Grand Narukami Shrine because at the time they don't have a way to actually go and visit the Raiden Shogun. So when we visit Yae, she already knows why they're there, knowing we need help in some way to actually go and visit the Raiden Shogun. The Traveler and Paimon explain that the Tenryou Commission needs help as well, with Yai already knowing the situation and that A is having a hard time dealing with the defeat that she suffered at the hands of the Traveler. She also states that the last time she visited her, she forgot to bring desserts and light novels to console her, which was absolutely freaking hilarious. So, but of course, we know that Yai is kind of joking with this. So, yeah, it kind of goes without saying that this is all just a bit. She's very teasing, so this is what she does. But she does know that A wants rest, especially to kind of clear her mind of what's going on. Yai does know about the thunderstorm and thinks that it has to do with the Raiden Shogun's willpower. Yai doesn't seem concerned and asks why she would help after the traveler says do it for her, which is funny because it's like a little meme from Simpsons, basically. Yai says that she likes the answer and gives us a pass permit that is used for Yai to go visit A. So now we actually have that pass permit to go visit her. After we're finished with the pass, we have to return it, of course. Like that's a given. We already know about that, and it's gonna tie into the end of the story, basically. We then see the traveler going to see the Raiden Shogun. The guard at the entrance stops us. He's very rude about it. But then he sees the pass and understands that Yai gave them the pass. So he lets the traveler and Paimon in. And then this is where we see that the Raiden Shogun puppet is pacing back and forth weirdly. It's almost like it's malfunctioning in this sense. And we'll get into that as well. When confronted, the Raiden Shogun is acting strange, stating that the traveler needs to leave, saying use of force has been forbidden. And the traveler and Paimon catch on quickly that something is up, saying that the puppet is acting strange. After a bit of dialogue between the Shogun and the traveler, A calls out to them from the plane of Euthymia, which is very, very cool. Like, I like the voice effect that they did with this. So definitely think that's A plus voice line right there. A states that she has disabled some of the functions in the Raiden Shogun because of the fact that there's been differences and everything going on. Sorry, I was just making sure that I have my slideshow ready to go. But basically, the Raiden Shogun had a bunch of set of old rules, and she's trying to fix them before she puts the Raiden Shogun back into full-time Raiden Shoguning in the sense, because a lot of the old rules had to deal with the fact that the Tenryou Commission did some shady stuff with the Vision Hunt Decree and the Fatui. So A even says that it's not a major issue, but it will be fixed once the Shogun is fixed and ready to go. Saying this being said towards the thunderstorm that is actually getting out of control, but of course to A it is of no concern. So A is also struggling with her new vision of eternity, which is where we invite her to basically go on a date with us. It's more like a play date in essence. It's not meant to be romantic or anything like that. But A obliges, saying that it could help her with her thoughts. So, upon going on this date, and this is where this kind of kicks in, we go into the market area of Inazuma, and everybody is shocked and in awe of A being out and about because they see her as the Raiden Shogun. They don't see the differences between the Raiden Shogun puppet and A because they don't know that there's a difference. A says to ignore it basically and focus on continuing their date in that sense. The traveler and A walk until they start or stop by a vendor selling Dongo milk. Now, this guy came up with this because he was trying to find something to uniquely sell for his stall because it wasn't making a lot of money. He saw that he had Dongo and he had milk, and they have a very short shelf life. So he figured, why not try mixing them both and see how it goes? And he had a lot of people actually say that they liked it. The idea of Dongo milk intrigued the Raiden Shogun. Sorry, my mouth is a little bit dry right now, and it's like blah, blah, blah. It intrigued the Raiden Shogun, and she asked for a sample, which the guy obliges and gives it to not only the Raiden Shogun, but also the Traveler and Paimon. A loves it and says that it tastes like a dessert and has the consistency of porridge. She asks, sales must be good, right? And the guy says, no, the sales are not fantastic. A lot of people don't want to try it because they're not used to something like Dongo milk not used to Dongo and milk being mixed together, basically. So A, in turn, says, hey, I'll get the Tenryou Commission to buy a few hundred of these and go door to door and give free samples. And then that way they'll start coming to your stall. The guy is obviously very, hesitant because he's like, why is she doing this? This seems so weird compared to normal. And it kind of ends at that point, which was a very weird ending to this. I figured that there'd be some sort of conversation afterwards, but I digress. No big deal. From there, we actually go into the next section where we stop by the Yai publishing house, where she is actually confused on why people would read light novels. She doesn't understand the concept of it. I think this section is actually really funny because I has a hard time understanding that the stories are not meant to be realistic. It's more so it's fiction. It's meant to be fiction, but she's trying to put facts into it, and that's what makes it funny. And then this section is also very funny because the fact that the titles of these light novels are very reflective on how some current anime titles are ridiculously long and are funny at the same time. The one that everybody kind of blew up on was The good thing about being reincarnated as a hilichurl is that I only need to eat Sensetias to become stronger. Everybody thought it was hilarious. I think it's hilarious because it ties into like stuff like, is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon? Or that time I got reincarnated as a slime, to name a few. So basically she gets offered to, or Traveler and Paimon offered to give her kind of a book of recommendation. So they go and they look at three choices, which the first choice is a love story, which is the chaotic epic that is a tale of my youthful love life. The reincarnation story, which is Shogun Almighty reborn as the Raiden with unlimited power, which obviously you could tell is reincarnating into the Raiden Shogun. Or the martial arts story, life made me a fighter when I just want to be a writer. I thought that one was the funniest one because of the fact that, it's a silly title. Whichever one you choose, really, A is still confused on the concept of the appeal. But let's go ahead and take, for example, the love story one. Her sense of like understanding the plot is very weird. She gets it, but then, like, take for example with this one, there are 7 women who are fighting for the love of the male protagonist. A suggests like, okay, I can understand that, but why doesn't like the male just accept all 7? That would solve the issue. And it makes you go, wow, like she really doesn't get like human emotion or understanding. So it's a really cool like little thing to like to kind of get a look at how like an archon views, the human world. So let me go ahead and zoom in on this picture a little bit because this is for the next section. A is starting to see that the world needs to change over time instead of it being stagnant, which is it's a breakthrough, obviously. Um, if she was back in the plane of euthymia, she even states that she would disagree. But now that she's actually been out for a little bit and seeing how the world is, she understands that change is not a bad thing, or is starting to. She thanks the Traveler and Paimon, with the Traveler recommending that they take a photo for the occasion, and A doesn't know what a photo is. So they move to a scenic spot to show what a photo is. They're going to take a photo of the Raiden Shogun. And as you see, she has 3 different choices of poses, but she's embarrassed and she doesn't want to choose. So she asks that the Traveler choose. You could choose a graceful and dignified pose, a stern and serious pose, or a relaxed and casual pose. I would have these poses up, but I forgot to take the I honestly forgot to take the pictures myself. I won't lie, I'm a very bad Genshin content creator, but you guys should do the quest. You guys will see them. Trust me, they're awesome. So from there, we take the photo. A is kind of like, she understands the concept and she gets it, but once you've chosen a photo and you take the photo, A thinks it's like a copy of her, just like the Raiden Shogun puppet. And she's having a hard time understanding, like, how does she look exactly like me, has the same pose as me, has the same scene as me? It's unbelievable. And this is where I love the character that she is, because she's having such a hard time just understanding anything or comprehending or grasping what this is. After explaining that photos are another way of existing, which is the only way that you could really convey this to her, she starts to understand truly what a photo is and what existing is at that point. After everything that transpired, A is forced to kind of realize that even if Inazuma of today is different, it doesn't make it any less Inazuma. It's Inazuma, whether it be stagnant or the same. Inazuma is Inazuma. It's a home. So it was a really nice little thing to see her kind of go, okay, I understand that. It makes sense now. So during this time, Ippei suddenly just returns. And, oh, whoa, that is zoomed in. Great job, forehead. Get out of here. Ippei kind of just is screaming for Kamaji, wondering where he is. He hasn't shown back up yet. And we kind of go up to him and ask him, like, what's going on. Ippei then explains that Kamaji went to discuss with the Takatsukasa clan to take over the Tenryo Commission as the commissioner. But the meeting was supposed to be in Inazuma, but it's actually in a place that's been changed kind of towards the Grand Narukami Shrine. It's not there, but it's nearby there. A wants to kind of help out because she feels like she's somewhat responsible for this even transpiring. So her, the Traveler, and Paimon go to the marked location to find Kamaji to ease Ippei's worrying. When they enter, oh, hold on. When they enter, A senses that the area is dangerous, knowing there is something going on that, or something more than meets the eye, basically. Of, something's afoot, basically. And she notices that, there's a lot of danger. You go through, there's Ronin there when Ronin aren't supposed to be there in the first place. So there's something fishy going on. And then after all the battles and the puzzles, you catch up to Kamaji and the head of the Takatsukasa clan, Susumu, who's on the screen right now, talking about a change in the commission, but not just a regular change in the commission. The Takatsukasa clan is trying to enforce Kamaji to say in a letter that they're confessing to all their crimes and that the Takatsukasa clan tried their best to combat the Kujo clan on what they did against the Vision Hunt decree, which isn't true. The Takatsukasa clan stood back and agreed with everything instead of fighting against it. So that's where the squabble is, and they brought Kamaji there to kind of force him to write this letter and say all those things so that, the Takatsukasa clan would look great in the eyes of the Raiden Shogun. A then explains that the process of a new commissioner is simple, as it had happened long ago between her and the descendant of the Kujo clan. A duel with the Shogun basically is what happened. She offers Susumu to take part of this duel, and he pauses, and you could just see the sense of fear kind of taking over because he's scared. He doesn't want to. He was trying to be very like shady about how to get it, and now that he's presented a way to get it, he's scared to duel the Raiden Shogun. She then extends this to the guards of Susumu, and they tuck tail as well. They're scared of the Raiden Shogun. Kamaji is scared as well, but he accepts the challenge, saying that he needs to duel with the Shogun to basically feel like he did something, because back when the Kujo clan was doing everything they were doing for the Vision Hunt decree, he didn't fight back even though he wanted to. And so he feels this is the way to make himself at least feel better about fighting back with what happened. A explains that even with the duel, it won't change the crimes that the Kujo clan did, and Kamaji understands this, but he wants to atone for his own actions, or rather lack thereof, because he says, I didn't do anything to help out, so I need to do this to kind of make myself feel better. Now, with this, oh, what the hell? With this, as you can see, the duel proceeds, and Kamaji and A are at opposite ends, and it's not even a close battle. A is toying with him, dancing around him. Kamaji at this point, and you could tell that A is really not striking him with a lethal intent. She knows that she could obviously beat Kamaji with ease, but Kamaji shows that he has the courage to basically fight a battle that he cannot win. It's the courage that he wanted to show when he was part of the Kujo clan. But he gets struck a few times, not lethally, obviously, no cuts or anything, but you could tell like he's hurt. Kamaji picks up his sword after collapsing to the ground one time after an attack, and tries to charge at the Shogun and collapses once more, with the duel ending. A then starts to scold Susumu and the Takatsukasa clan for what they tried to pull, stating that if they ever try it again, she will strike them down. They acknowledge this and they say, we won't do it again. We're going to stay back. Afterwards, she says that she wants to talk to the Traveler and Paimon outside really quick before they continue. And then she even said during this that she's going to investigate the Kujo clan, but this will be continued here in just a moment. When outside, A talks to the Traveler about Kamaji and what potential he has. She also thanks the Traveler for bringing her out for the day. She says that the Kujo clan is not going to be in command of the Tenryou Commission, at least for this time, but A finally sees a way ahead for what is good for Inazuma. A states that for now she will continue her solitude, but it won't last much longer, which is great because we didn't know how long it was going to be at the first place. So now that we know it's not going to be that much longer, we know that she's going to try and hurry up so that she can get the Raiden Shogun ready to go and basically combat this thunderstorm. For now, though, she goes back and the Traveler goes to return the Visitor's Pass to Yae Miko. The traveler tells Yae about what happened during the day's events, and Yae loves thinking about how wide-eyed country girl A was during the trip. Now A said that she didn't need the company, but Yae thinks that, she did need the company. She just doesn't want to say it because she's a god. Uh, she's happy that we were able to make that progress and helped with A's new vision of eternity. And with a few more pieces of conversation with Yae, the quest ends. Now, my take on the quest in general is that I like the quest. I felt that there was a little bit of issues when it came to some odds and ends, like, say, when they go through the streets and stuff and the Dongo milk. It seemed like a sudden ending, and the guy didn't really have any closing statements, which I felt left a little bit to be desired in that sense. But the quest was still really, really good. I like the dynamic of the Raiden Shogun and how she is and how she's learning. I've always loved characters like that because they're always so fascinated, and you get to be like, huh, somebody who doesn't know about that would actually have those questions, and it makes sense, but it's baffling in that sense. So I honestly like the story. Again, I said it, but it leaves a little bit desired. I will say 7 out of 10 on the story as my official score. Um, wasn't the best of the stories in my personal opinion, but it definitely was a good one. And obviously, Raiden Shogun's Dommy Mommy, and she's so freaking cute. But let me know in the comments what you guys think about the story. Did you think that there was left to be desired, or did you love the story just for the dating? Would you read the Hilly Churl story, or would you read, something else? Let me know in the comments. But as always, guys, Stuttering Tystra is done for today. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to entertain you, and we will catch you guys in the next Genshin Impact video. Take care. Much love to you guys.